During 2 years of lockdowns, the government paid out around $18 billion in subsidies so businesses could keep afloat and keep paying staff. Some companies needed it to survive, others didn't, and in some cases went on to make record profits. Briscoe's got paid out $11 million and went on to make a $28 million profit, so agreed to pay the $11 million back. The Warehouse Group paid the government back $67 million in subsidies after criticism for firing staff anyway. Then you've got Australian-owned Harvey Norman, who kept their $12 million handout despite some insisting they didn't need it. Profit-posting Hallensteins and Glassons, Michael Hill, Kathmandu and Farmers all received multi-million-dollar wage subsidies and kept them. Now a public campaign started by philanthropist group The Integrity Institute says the public deserves all that unused money back, $10 billion all up. But the Ministry of Social Development disputes that figure.
The Auditor-General did not find that $10 billion was paid incorrectly. The question of whether businesses that were paid correctly should repay it on moral grounds is for those businesses to answer. MSD has no powers to recoup payments that applicants were eligible to receive.
The petition to claw back unused subsidies already has 11,000 signatures since it was launched in mid-June. But will that be enough to take back what was freely given in the first place?
Petition organiser Grant Nelson from the Integrity Institute joins us now. Grant, these businesses, they all qualified for the subsidies at the time. What do you think the chances are we'll get this back if we're just relying on the kindness of their own hearts?
Well, they applied for the subsidy based on a prediction of what might happen. So, in a sense, they didn't qualify until that prediction had turned out to be correct. And they also had various other obligations that they had to comply with. But as it turned out, most of them didn't actually comply with all the obligations that they signed up to.
So, Grant, for you, is this a legal issue, they should legally give it back, or is it a moral issue, they should give it back?
Well, I think it is both, really. Yes, they are required to be a good guardian of public money and to ensure this good stewardship of public money, but they've completely failed to do it. In this case, they've had what I would call a pay and walk away policy. So they just paid out all the money, but they didn't want to do anything else after that to check to see that people actually were eligible for what they'd received.
It's strange because the Ministry of Social Development is pretty good at chasing up some people in my family if they feel like they've overpaid them a little bit too much on the benny.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, and that's one of the motivations behind this because, well, for example, with the winter energy payment, they wrote to all people who received that and said it's really important that if you are overpaid $20 or even, a larger amount, that you must inform the ministry and repay the money. But with the wage subsidy, they've probably got a fair idea that some people have got 20 million and they haven't even bothered to contact them.
Grant, is it that injustice that makes you so mad? Why do you personally care so much?
Yeah, I guess it's that. It's just wrong that so many people have made a lot of money out of the wage subsidy, and yet at the same time there are a lot of social problems in the community, and we're being told that the government can't afford to deal with those social problems and can't afford to pay for infrastructure and measures to deal with climate change and those sort of things. So it is important, I think, that the money is returned.
Well, Grant, thanks for the time and energy you're putting into this. Really appreciate it.
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah, so if you think back to that time in lockdown, the government was making decisions really fast, right? And it was actually pretty impressive at the time that people who suddenly found themselves without incomes could apply, and then sometimes even like within 24 hours they had money in the bank. So I think no one is saying that that process wasn't thought through properly. It happened fast, but the question is why now, with these multi-billion-dollar companies who've received $10 billion, why it's just Grant by himself putting his hand up and saying, hey, how about some accountability, and how about we ask them whether they got it legit or not?
We'll push them a little. I don't think we can rely on the moral compass of a lot of corporates to suddenly give the money back.
But if you ask the question and ask them to take a look at their accounts and whether they actually earn that, deserve that or not, you've at least done a little bit of homework.
Well, a bit of public pressure worked for the warehouse group, right? They ended up paying back the wage subsidies they'd claimed, so it would be really nice if these other companies would do the same. I can put my hand up and say, next time I need to buy a blimmin' tea towel or a cheese grater, I will not be getting it from farmers. I'll go to Briscoe's instead.
Big call.
Yeah, look out, guys.
Well, the petition is still available to sign if you feel strongly about this and you want to join Grant's call for action.